We have a massive New York Yankees free agency update as the Yankees have been linked to the top 3 lefty pitchers available in the bullpen in both Tim Hill, Andrew Chafin, and Brooks Rayley, and we're going to break it all down as the New York Yankees do not have a left-handed reliever in their bullpen as of today, and they're obviously going to need to change that before the season starts. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe. It helps us out a ton. 20% of people watching this are subscribed. That's not 20. 18% of people watching this are subscribed right now. But we don't really need to talk about that. Let's jump right into things because the New York Yankees have been linked to multiple options out of their bullpen. Now, Tim Hill is the top guy. Obviously spent half of last season with the Yankees after the Yankees acquired him from the Chicago White Sox, and he was an awesome pickup for the team. The Yankees needed a lefty. They brought in Tim Hill. Obviously has that unorthodox style of pitching, and it just worked beautifully. Obviously, it worked out great with Matt Blake, who's excellent with awkward release points, and the New York Yankees, they got Tim Hill, and Tim Hill absolutely cooked. But on top of that, you got guys like Andrew Chafin and Brooks Rayley, who are also options that the New York Yankees have shown interest in. Now, I don't think it's a surprise here what I'm going to say, and I think most Yankee fans are going to agree. I want Tim Hill back, personally. I understand the Yankees only have room for one more relief pitcher. I would wish they could find a way to get 2 more because, well, frankly, I'd like more than one lefty in their bullpen. But that's a story for another day. Right now, with these 3 guys, you got to go Tim Hill first. He's got to be your top choice. Tim Hill was awesome for the New York Yankees. He was there when they went to the World Series. The man knows how to pitch in pinstripes. Straight up better than Andrew Chafin in my mind. And Brooks Rayley is out till June or July because of his Tommy John surgery. So you obviously have to look at Tim Hill first here for the New York Yankees. I believe most teams would probably favor Tim Hill over any of these guys because the New York Yankees, well, they brought in Tim Hill and the man pitched awesome as a contender, played a lot in the playoffs, and just kept cooking. He was just an excellent pickup by the New York Yankees all of last season that they had him and the playoffs. Now, last year in 2024, Tim Hill went 4-0 on wins and losses out of the bullpen, had an ERA of 3.36 in 62 games played. His whip was not great, but here's the thing. His numbers got a lot better once he started playing for the Yankees. We'll make this a little bit bigger. Tim Hill was 3-0 with the Yankees, had an ERA of 2.05, 18 strikeouts in 35 appearances for the New York Yankees, and 44 innings pitched exactly. Only gave up 2 home runs. I mean, his strikes to walks were great, or strikeouts to walks were great. Walks per 9 were great. Home runs per 9 was great. The man just pitched excellently for the New York Yankees. There's no way around it, and he's got to be the guy who the New York Yankees look to bring back, just looking at those numbers right there. He's your guy. He is who you 1,000% go with right here if you are the New York Yankees. Tim Hill is an awesome, awesome player, and I just think he fits perfectly with the team. Now, however, there is the thought that maybe the Yankees might not be able to get him back. Now, taking a look at what The Athletic said, as of Tuesday, the Yankees' biggest priority seemed to be adding a left-handed reliever with names such as Tim Hill, Brooks Rayley, and Andrew Chafin, each being discussed according to league sources. On top of that, as the reliever market continues to take shape, the Yankees remain interested in a reunion with lefty reliever Tim Hill, and their competition could come from across town. The New York Mets are also considering signing the 34-year-old who's emerged as a dependable weapon in the Bronx. Now, part of the reason why the New York Mets would be interested in signing Tim Hill is pretty simple. They had Brooks Rayley, who's now a free agent. Guy got Tommy John surgery. Mets want a lefty reliever. There's a reasoning. The Yankees are probably going to be in duels with a few other teams for Tim Hill as well. I don't think only 2 teams are going to be interested in Tim Hill. I think if you are a contender and if you need a left-handed reliever in your bullpen, teams are going to look at Tim Hill. It's just so obvious after the way he played in the playoffs that any team that wants to win a World Series right now obviously won't because the Dodgers exist. But, like, baseball's, you can still do it. It's just, cannot stand the Dodgers. It's just not fun at all. It's not interesting. They're not building their own guys up. They're just using Japan as the minor leagues. It doesn't matter for this video. Just grr. But look, any team that's interested in contending is going to look at these top 3 guys. Brooks Rayley, once he comes back, there's expectations that he'll be very good. But right now, Tim Hill is the main prize. At least he should be, if you ask me. I think he's the best guy available after seeing the way he pitched for a contender last year. So the Mets are right to be interested. I imagine there will be a few other teams that are taking a look at Tim Hill as well. Though I do kind of think the Yankees will have enough pull to bring him back. I don't think the Mets are going to go all out spending on Tim Hill. And they're probably not as focused on Tim Hill because they're still trying to figure out that situation with Pete Alonso, who's just still a free agent kind of sitting around while Scott Boras completely forgets he exists. So we'll see how that shapes out. Definitely will be interesting to see. On top of that, the Yankees have also shown interest in Andrew Chafin. Now, Chafin last year did not have a great year, but it wasn't a bad year. 3.51 ERA across two teams with the Tigers and the Rangers. He pitched better for the Tigers than he did for the Rangers. He got to the Rangers and his performance was not great. So I do think the Yankees kind of should hold off on Chafin in exchange for looking at Tim Hill. Brooks Rayley is an interesting player as well, and taking a look at what was said about Brooks Rayley and his connection to the New York Yankees, it was mentioned by The Athletic that lefty reliever Brooks Rayley has discussed multi-year contracts with a few different teams. Rayley's 36 years old, had Tommy John surgery in May. He hopes to be ready to pitch in games as early as the start of July. People briefed on the matter said that that's the hope, and that's very likely. Clubs that are known to be in the market for bullpen help, including the Cubs and the Yankees, have checked in. So the Yankees have now officially been linked to all three of these guys, and it is interesting to see where they go. Rayley last year hardly played. In 8 games, he had a .05 WAR, which is pretty impressive, honestly. Didn't allow a single run in those 8 games. Obviously, he's getting up there. Just had Tommy John. He's not going to pitch again until he's 37, looking for a multi-year deal. It's definitely worrisome, but relief pitchers, they do have a tendency to last a bit, and Rayley can definitely come back and still be a solid piece. If the Yankees don't get Tim Hill, I would be fine with them going for Rayley. They could probably find a reliever somewhere within the farm system to use if they need a lefty for some time while they wait for Brooks Rayley to come back and hope that he works out. I don't mind the signing at all. I think Rayley's a very, very good pitcher. I think it's obvious he's a good pitcher. I mean, in 2023, when he pitched a full season, he had a 2.80 ERA, 61 strikeouts, and 3 saves in 66 appearances. The man played very well, allowed 17 runs in that span. Just a good pitcher, man. He's just a good reliever, someone you can rely on. I would be totally fine with the New York Yankees going for Rayley if they lose out on Tim Hill, but I think their first number one priority should certainly be to sign Tim Hill, because even these numbers are not as good. Taking a look here, just to go back to Tim Hill's now, Tim Hill's numbers with the Yankees are better than Brooks Rayley's over the last time that Brooks Rayley played a full season. I understand this was half a year with the Yankees. However, it is still something to be aware of because how good Tim Hill was. And again, I wish the Yankees could get another relief pitcher. I wish they could have more than one lefty and not just this guy right here, as long as they can bring him back. But they're in a tough spot right now because they can only add one more reliever before they'd have to throw someone in the minors. So we'll see how the season shapes out. If it turns out they'll need another lefty, then they'll obviously figure that out around the trade deadline, or maybe they won't. But at the end of the day, if you want to bring in a lefty, which the Yankees do in their bullpen, you go for Tim Hill, and then you ask questions later. If you don't get Tim Hill, then you could look at Andrew Chafin and Brooks Rayley more close. But I think the Yankees' number one priority right now should be to sign Tim Hill. And I think that's what they're going to do. I imagine Tim Hill's going to be back with the Yankees if you asked me today. But guys, I want to know what you guys think. Should the Yankees go for Tim Hill over these two? Do you guys think the Yankees will keep Tim Hill on the team? Do you think they'll retain him? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.